McLaren's Daniel Ricciardo was seen by many as a future world champion during his Red Bull years. In the pursuit of this championship, he has driven for 3 different teams in the last 4 years, and at 32, he is no closer to that championship than he was during his younger days. Daniel has now spoken about his career trajectory, and has set a timeline by which he expects to be a title challenger, as quoted by Motorsport. I'm your host Tyler, and first up on Formula World, why Daniel Ricciardo hasn't thrown a tantrum yet or lost it mentally. Daniel began by being hopeful for the future. I understand that the team is on a great trajectory, but now there are still a few hurdles in place that are probably going to stop us, let's say fighting for the championship for the next year or two. He then set 2024 as the year by which he expects to be in the title fight. I think looking at it now, I really just look to try and keep building on where I am now over the next couple of years with McLaren, and then hopefully put myself in a prime spot for that 24 season. He then explained why he has to think so far ahead, despite wanting to win right now. It sounds crazy to talk that far ahead, but yeah, sometimes you've got to think like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely trying. I want all the glory today. But I guess the experience tells me that it's definitely a process. Daniel explained why he hasn't had an outburst of emotions yet. But I guess with age and wisdom, and probably maturity, comes some more composure than say when I was younger, expecting the world from everything and it wasn't happening. Then yeah, I probably would have thrown a few tantrums by now and lost it mentally, so to speak. He then explained how he has now accepted that each team has its own definition of victory. In a way, you have to change a little bit. I don't know its mindset, goals, target, but you have to create different victories in your mind, where a victory might not always be first place. Going back to last year, a victory at Renault was getting that car onto the podium. He signed off by outlining his approach of taking everything on the chin, and persevering towards his goals. So ultimately, yes, nothing beats winning, and that's what I signed up for when I was young, trying to do all this. I know you're only going to win if you're in that top team or maybe those 4 cars a year. If you're not, you've got to set other targets for yourself and keep your stock high, keep your motivation high. Fast feed. A lot of what McLaren's Lando Norris used to do was just try to be a better person and find support from people to be liked. But for his own good, he doesn't want people to see him as just a joker or as a guy who doesn't take things seriously. That's not who he is. He just wants to show that he has to put in the effort, that he works really hard to get better and get the results that he has now. He just wasn't very good at showing that side of it. Alfa Romeo team principal Frederick Vasseur has pointed out that Antonio Giovinazzi is doing a very good job in quali, when Kimi Räikkönen is probably a bit more on the tough side. And it's the opposite in the race, and very often Kimi is compensating the gap with Antonio in the opening laps. He also confirmed that he has got the green light to go after any driver on the market for 2022. He just has to do his job to be able to convince them. Alpine's Fernando Alonso feels that he hasn't had any luck this season. Every position he has gained he owes to hard fighting. There is no gift from anyone. He had to fight hard to get every point, so he's proud of that. He added they are improving, but hopefully in the second part of the year, they will learn more things to better prepare for 2022, which is the main goal. Newly crowned Formula E World Champion Nick de Vries feels that rumours about him being wooed by F1 teams shows the level of competition in Formula E. It also shows that the motorsport world is acknowledging the competitiveness of the championship and really valuing and rating the quality in both teams and drivers. But apart from that, he'll wait and see what happens in the next couple of months and what his future will look like. Former F1 driver Juan Pablo Montoya feels that when he was active, everyone was quite on their own. Nobody was friends with each other. He grew up with the idea that you had to beat each other, not make friendships in the sport. Formula 1 was a tough world. Nowadays it's a bit more relaxed, partly because of social media. Aston Martin's Sebastian Vettel thinks that if he has an important message, he doesn't need his own platform to spread it. The message will get through. It's more about taking the right steps. He further feels that if he can inspire one person with conservation efforts, that's enough. It wasn't a campaign. He did it for himself and to set an example. Can McLaren provide Daniel Ricciardo with a championship-winning car by 2024? Head over to our community page to vote in the poll, and let us know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out our others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.